Namaste to all. Ram Ram Ram. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste to all. Ram Ram Ram. Today is the 36th class of Sundara Kandam. We are trying to complete the 9th Sarga. We will do a quick revision of the earlier 20 shlokas that we learned. I think it's been a couple of weeks since we've had our live sessions. And then we will move on to the new set of shlokas. Jayanti Bagni, can you do the Dhyana shlokas?
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। Can you change the slide?
Sorry, I got a call that I had to take.
No.
Continue, Bagni. Yeah.
बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वम् अरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम्। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्।
Very nice. Very nice. Dhanyavadah, Bagni. Astu. Who can do 41 to 60? I think Shanti ji said she'll do the explanation. Sheila Bagni said she will do the repeat of the new shlokas. Would you like to just continue?
Yeah, I can continue.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me just go to 41.
इति वामन्यत श्रीमान् उपपत्यात् महाकपिः मेनेहि गुणतस्तानि समानि सलिलोद्भवैः सा तस्य शुशुभे शाला ताभिस्त्रीभिर्विराजिता शारदीव प्रसन्नाद्यौः ताराभिरभिशोभिता सचताभिः परिवृतः शुशुभे राक्षसाधिपः यथा ह्युडुपति श्रीमान् ताराभिरभिसंवृतः याश्च्यवन्तेऽम्बरात्ताराः पुण्यशेषसमावृताः इमास्था सङ्गताः कृत्स्ना इति मेने हरिस्तदा ताराणामिव सुव्यक्तम् महतीनां शुभार्चिषाम् प्रभावर्णप्रसादाश्च विरेजुस्तत्र योषिताम् व्यावृत्तगुरुपीनश्रक् प्रकीर्णवरभूषणाः पानव्यायामकालेषु निद्रापहृतचेतसः व्यावृत्ततिलकाः काश्चिदभ्रान्तनूपुराः
One more time.
व्यावृत्ततिलकाः काश्चिदुद्भ्रान्तनूपुराः पार्श्वे गलितहाराश्च काश्चित् परमयोषितः
Very good.
मुक्ताहारावृताश्चान्याः काश्चित् विस्रस्तवाससः व्यावृत्तरशनादामाः किशोर्य इव वाहिताः सुकुण्डलधराश्चान्या विच्छिन्नमृदितस्रजः गजेन्द्रमृदिताः फुल्ला लता इव महावने चन्द्रांशुकिरणाभाश्च हाराकाशांचि दुत्कटाः हंसा इव बभुः सुप्ताः स्तनमध्येषु योषिताम् अपरासाञ्च वैडूर्याः कादम्बा इव पक्षिणः हेमसूत्राणि चान्यासाम् चक्रवाका इवाभवन् हंसकारण्डवाकीर्णाः चक्रवाकोपशोभिताः आपगा इव तारेजुः जघनैः पुलिनैरिव किङ्किणीजालसङ्काशाः तावत्र कनकाम्बुजाः भावग्राहा यशस्तीराः सुप्ता नद्य इवाम्बभुः मृदुष्वङ्गेषु कासाञ्चित् कुचाग्रेषु च संस्थिताः बभूवुर्भूषणानीव शुभाभूषणराजयः अंशुकान्ताश्च कासाञ्चित् मुखमारुतकम्पिताः उपर्युपरि वक्त्राणां व्याधूयन्ते पुनः पुनः ताः पताका इवोद्धूताः पत्नीनां रुचिरप्रभाः नानावर्णसुवर्णानां वक्त्रमूलेषु रेजिरे ववल्गुश्चात्रकासाञ्चित् कुण्डलानि शुभार्चिषाम् मुखमारुतसंसर्गात् मन्दं मन्दं सुयोषिताम् शर्करासवगन्धैश्च प्रकृत्या सुरभिः सुखः तासां वदननिःश्वासः सिषेवे रावणं तदा रावणाननशङ्काश्च काश्चिद्रावणयोषितः मुखानि च सपत्नीनाम् उपाजिघ्रन् पुनः पुनः
Very good.
अत्यर्थं सक्तमनसो रावणेतावरस्त्रियः अस्वतन्त्राः सपत्नीनां प्रियमेवाचरंस्तदा.
Beautiful. Very nice. Excellent chanting, Bhagini. Very nice. It was very sweet. It was very madhuram to hear.
Thank you. धन्यवाद.
Dhanyavadaha. Ram Ram. Sheila Bhagini. Let me see if you are.
राम राम वाणी जी.
Namaskar. We'll start with 61. Bahunupanidayanyaha
बाहूनुपनिधान्याः
nidhayanyaha
निधायान्याः
pariharya vibhushitan
पारिहार्य विभूषितान्
amshukani charamyani.
अंशुकानि च रम्याणि.
Very good. Pramadastattra sishire
प्रमदास्तत्र शिशिरे
bahunupanidayanyaha pariharya vibhushitan
बाहूनुपनिधायान्याः बाहूनुपनिधायान्याः पारिहार्य विभूषितान् अंशुकानि च रम्याणि प्रमदास्तत्र शिशिरे.
Bhagni, second line, I have to do the full. Amshukani charamyani. So the format is we will do pada by pada first, and then line by line next. Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem, because there will be students who will be waiting for the full line. Amshukani charamyani pramadastattra sishire.
अंशुकानि च रम्याणि प्रमदास्तत्र शिशिरे.
Very good. Anya vakshasi chanyasyaha
अन्या वक्षसि चान्यस्याः
tasyah kaschit punarbhujam
तस्याः काश्चित् पुनर्भुजम्
aparatvangamanyasyaha
अपरात्वङ्कमन्यस्याः
तस्याश्चाप्यपराभुजौ.
तस्याश्चाप्यपराभुजौ.
Full line. Anya vakshasi chanyasyaha tasyah kaschit punarbhujam.
अन्या वक्षसि चान्यस्याः तस्याः काश्चित् पुनर्भुजम्.
अपरात्वङ्कमन्यस्याः तस्याश्चाप्यपरा भुजौ
अपरात्वङ्कमन्यस्याः तस्याश्चाप्यपरा भुजौ
ऊरू पार्श्वकटी पृष्ठम्
ऊरु अरु
ऊरू पार्श्वकटी पृष्ठम्
ओके ओके ऊरु पार्श्वकटी पृष्ठम्
अन्योन्यस्य समाश्रिताः
अन्योन्यस्य समाश्रिताः
परस्परनिविष्टाङ्ग्यो परस्परनिविष्टाङ्ग्यो
परस्परनिविष्टाङ्ग्यो
So there is a ing, there is a ig, and then there is a yo. मदस्नेहवशानुगाः
मदस्नेहवशानुगाः
ऊरुपार्श्वकटीपृष्ठम् अन्योन्यस्य समाश्रिताः
ऊरुपार्श्वकटीपृष्ठम् अन्योन्यस्य समाश्रिताः
परस्परनिविष्टाङ्ग्यो मदस्नेहवशानुगाः
परस्परनिविष्टाङ्ग्यो मदस्नेहवशानुगाः
Very good. अन्योन्यस्याङ्गसंस्पर्शात्
अन्योन्यस्याङ्गसंस्पर्शात्
Very good. प्रीयमाणासु मध्यमाः
प्रीयमाणासु मध्यमाः
एकीकृतभुजाः सर्वाः
एकीकृतभुजाः सर्वाः
सुषुपुस्तत्र योषितः
सुषुपुस्तत्र योषितः
अन्योन्यस्याङ्गसंस्पर्शात् प्रीयमाणासु मध्यमाः
अन्योन्यस्याङ्गसंस्पर्शात् प्रीयमाणासु मध्यमाः
एकीकृतभुजाः सर्वाः सुषुपुस्तत्र योषितः
एकीकृतभुजाः सर्वाः सुषुपुस्तत्र योषितः
अन्योन्यभुजसूत्रेण
अन्योन्यभुजसूत्रेण
स्त्रीमालाघ्रतिता हि सा
स्त्रीमालाघ्रतिता हि सा
मालेव ग्रथिता सूत्रे
मालेव ग्रथिता सूत्रे
शुशुभे मत्तषट्पदा
शुशुभे मत्तषट्पदा
अन्योन्यभुजसूत्रेण स्त्रीमालाग्रथिता हि सा
अन्योन्यभुजसूत्रेण स्त्रीमालाग्रथिता हि सा
वेरी गुड मालेव ग्रथिता सूत्रे शुशुभे मत्तषट्पदा
मालेव ग्रथिता सूत्रे शुशुभे मत्तषट्पदा
लतानां माधवे मासि
लतानां माधवे मासि
फुल्लानां वायुसेवनात्
फुल्लानां वायुसेवनात्
अन्योन्यमालाग्रथितम्
अन्योन्यमालाग्रथितं
ग्रथितं महाप्राणः
ओके अन्योन्यमालाग्रथितं
संसक्तकुसुमोच्चयम्
संसक्तकुसुमोच्चयम्
लतानां माधवे मासि फुल्लानां वायुसेवनात्
लतानां माधवे मासि फुल्लानां वायुसेवनात्
अन्योन्यमालाग्रथितं संसक्तकुसुमोच्चयम्
अन्योन्यमालाग्रथितं संसक्तकुसुमोच्चयम्
व्यतिवेष्टितसुस्कन्धम्
व्यतिवेष्टितसुस्कन्धम्
अन्योन्यभ्रमराकुलम्
अन्योन्यभ्रमराकुलम्
आसीद्वनमिवोद्धूतम्
आसीद्वनमिवोद्धूतम्
वेरी गुड स्त्रीवनं रावणस्य तत्
स्त्रीवनं रावणस्य तत्
व्यतिवेष्टितसुस्कन्धम् अन्योन्यभ्रमराकुलम्
व्यतिवेष्टितसुस्कन्धम् अन्योन्यभ्रमराकुलम्
आसीद्वनमिवोद्धूतम् स्त्रीवनं रावणस्य तत्
आसीद्वनमिवोद्धूतम् स्त्रीवनं रावणस्य तत्
वेरी गुड उचितेष्वपि सुव्यक्तम्
उचितेष्वपि सुव्यक्तम्
न तासां योषितां तदा
न तासां योषितां तदा
विवेकः शक्य आधातुम्
विवेकः शक्य आधातुम्
भूषणाङ्गाम्बरस्रजाम्
भूषणाङ्गाम्बरस्रजाम्
उचितेष्वपि सुव्यक्तम् न तासां योषितां तदा
उचितेष्वपि सुव्यक्तं न तासां योषितां तदा
विवेकः शक्य आधातुम् भूषणाङ्गाम्बरस्रजाम्
विवेकः शक्य आधातुं भूषणाङ्गाम्बरस्रजाम्
वेरी गुड रावणे सुखसंविष्टे अङ्गेड्तिन्को टेक् इट् टुगेदर् रावणे सुखसंविष्टे
रावणे सुखसंविष्टे
तास्त्रियो विविधप्रभाः
तास्त्रियो विविधप्रभाः
ज्वलन्तः काञ्चनादीपाः
ज्वलन्तः काञ्चनादीपाः
प्रेक्षन्ता निमिषा इव
प्रैक्षन्ता निमिषा इव
वेरी गुड रावणे सुखसंविष्टे तास्त्रियो विविधप्रभाः
रावणे सुखसंविष्टे तास्त्रियो विविधप्रभाः
ज्वलन्तः काञ्चनादीपाः प्रैक्षन्ता निमिषा इव
ज्वलन्तः काञ्चनादीपाः प्रैक्षन्तानिमिषा इव।
Very good. राजर्षि पितृदैत्यानां
राजर्षि पितृदैत्यानां
गन्धर्वाणां च योषितः
गन्धर्वाणां च योषितः
रक्षसां च भवन् कन्याः
रक्षसां चाभवन् कन्याः
तस्य कामवशं गताः
तस्य कामवशं गताः।
राजर्षि पितृदैत्यानां गन्धर्वाणां च योषितः
राजर्षि पितृदैत्यानां गन्धर्वाणां च योषितः
रक्षसां च भवन् कन्याः तस्य कामवशं गताः
रक्षसां चाभवन् कन्याः तस्य कामवशं गताः।
युद्धकामेन ताः सर्वा
युद्धकामेन ताः सर्वा
रावणेन हृताः स्त्रियः
रावणेन हृताः स्त्रियः
समदामदनेनैव
समदामदनेनैव
मोहिताः काश्चिदागताः
मोहिताः काश्चिदागताः
युद्धकामेन ताः सर्वा रावणेन हृताः स्त्रियः
युद्धकामेन ताः सर्वा रावणेन हृताः स्त्रियः
समदामदनेनैव मोहिताः काश्चिदागताः
समदामदनेनैव मोहिताः काश्चिदागताः।
वेरी गुड न तत्र काश्चित् प्रमदाः प्रसह्य
न तत्र काश्चित् प्रमदाः प्रसह्य
वीर्योपपन्नेन गुणेन लब्धाः
वीर्योपपन्नेन गुणेन लब्धाः
न चान्यकामापि न चान्यपूर्वा
न चान्यकामापि न चान्यपूर्वा
विना वरार्हां जनकात्मजां तु
विना वरार्हां जनकात्मजां तु
न तत्र काश्चित् प्रमदाः प्रसह्य वीर्योपपन्नेन गुणेन लब्धाः
न तत्र काचित् प्रमदाः प्रसह्य वीर्योपपन्नेन गुणेन लब्धाः
न चान्यकामापि न चान्यपूर्वा विना विना नो प्रॉब्लम विना वरार्हां जनकात्मजां तु
न चान्यकामापि न चान्यपूर्वा विना वरार्हां जनकात्मजां तु।
वेरी गुड न चाकुलीना न च हीनरूपा
न चाकुलीना न च हीनरूपा
नादक्षिणानानुपचारयुक्ता
नादक्षिणानानुपचारयुक्ता
भार्या भवत्तस्य न हीनसत्त्वा
भार्या भवत्तस्य न हीनसत्त्वा
न चापि कान्तस्य न कामनीया
न चापि कान्तस्य न कामनीया
न चाकुलीना न च हीनरूपा नादक्षिणा नानुपचारयुक्ता
न चाकुलीना न च हीनरूपा नादक्षिणा नानुपचारयुक्ता
भार्या भवत्तस्य न हीनसत्त्वा न चापि कान्तस्य न कामनीया
भार्या भवत्तस्य न हीनसत्त्वा न चापि कान्तस्य न कामनीया
वेरी गुड बभूव बुद्धिस्तु हरीश्वरस्य
बभूव बुद्धिस्तु हरीश्वरस्य
यदीदृशी राघवधर्मपत्नी
यदीदृशी राघवधर्मपत्नी
इमा यथा राक्षसराजभार्याः
इमा यथा राक्षसराजभार्याः
सुजातमस्येति हि साधु बुद्धेः
सुजातमस्येति हि साधु बुद्धेः
बभूव बुद्धिस्तु हरीश्वरस्य यदीदृशी राघवधर्मपत्नी
बभूव बुद्धिस्तु हरीश्वरस्य यदीदृशी राघवधर्मपत्नी
इमा यथा राक्षसराजभार्याः सुजातमस्येति हि साधु बुद्धेः
इमा यथा राक्षसराजभार्याः सुजातमस्येति हि साधु बुद्धेः
पुनश्च सोचिन्तयदार्तरूपो
पुनश्च सोचिन्तयदार्थरूपः रूपो Sorry.
we are not splitting the sandhi.
Okay.
Dhruvam vishishta gunato hi sita
ध्रुवं विशिष्टा गुणतो हि सीता
अथायमस्यां कृतवान् महात्मा
अथायमस्यां कृतवान् महात्मा
लङ्केश्वरः कष्टमनार्यकर्म
लङ्केश्वरः कष्टमनार्यकर्म
पुनश्च सोचिन्तयदार्तरूपो ध्रुवं विचिष्टा गुणतो हि सीता
पुनश्च सोचिन्तयदार्थरूपो ध्रुवं विशिष्टा गुणतो हि सीता
अथायमस्यां कृतवान् महात्मा लङ्केश्वरः कष्टमनार्यकर्म
अथायमस्यां कृतवान् महात्मा लङ्केश्वरः कष्टमनार्यकर्म
वेरी गुड इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकीये आदिकाव्ये सुन्दरकाण्डे
इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकीये आदिकाव्ये सुन्दरकाण्डे
अन्तःपुरदर्शनं नाम नवमः सर्गः सम्पूर्णः
अन्तःपुरदर्शनं नाम नवमः सर्गः सम्पूर्णः.
Very good. Very nicely repeated, Bhagini. Once again. Okay,
Thank
would you
you.
like to try?
Yes, I will try.
Mm.
From 61.
Mm.
Can you start?
Bahunupani.
बाहूनुपनिधायान्याः पारिहार्य विभूषितान् अंशुकानि च रम्याणि प्रमदास्तत्र शिशिरे अन्या वक्षसि चान्यस्याः तस्याः काश्चित् पुनर्भुजम् अपरात्वङ्गमन्यस्याः तस्याश्चाप्यपरा भुजौ ऊरुपार्श्वकटिपृष्ठम् अन्योन्यस्य समाश्रिताः परस्परनिविष्टाङ्ग्यो मदस्नेहवशानुगाः अन्योन्यस्याङ्गसंस्पर्शात् प्रीयमाणाः सुमध्यमाः एकीकृतभुजाः सर्वाः सुषुपुस्तत्र योषितः अन्योन्यभुजसूत्रेण स्त्रीमालाग्रथिता हि सा मालेव ग्रथिता सूत्रे शुशुभे मत्तषट्पदा.
There is a dvitva there. Malevagratita.
Okay. मालेवग्रथिता सूत्रे शुशुभे मत्तषट्पदा लतानां माधवे मासि फुल्लानां वायुसेवनात् अन्योन्यमालाग्रथितं संसक्तकुसुमोचयम् व्यतिवेष्टितसुस्कन्धम् अन्योन्यभ्रमराकुलम् आसीद्वनमिवोद्धूतम् स्त्रीवनं रावणस्य तत् उचितेष्वपि सुव्यक्तं न तासां योषितां तदा विवेकः शक्य आधातुं भूषणाङ्गाम्बरस्रजाम्.
Little slower, Bhagini.
Okay. रावणे सुखसंविष्टे ता स्त्रियो विविधप्रभाः ज्वलन्तः काञ्चनादीपाः प्रेक्षन्तानिमिषा इव राजर्षिपितृदैत्यानां गन्धर्वाणां च योषितः रक्षसाञ्चाभवन् कन्याः तस्य कामवशं गताः युद्धकामेन ताः सर्वा रावणेन हृताः स्त्रियः समदा मदनेनैव मोहिताः काश्चिदागताः न तत्र काश्चित् प्रमदाः प्रसह्य वीर्योपपन्नेन गुणेन लब्धाः न चान्यकामापि न चान्यपूर्वा विना वरार्हां जनकात्मजां तु न चाकुलीना न च हीनरूपा नादक्षिणा नानुपचारयुक्ता भार्या भवत्तस्य न हीनसत्त्वा न चापि कान्तस्य न कामनीया बभूव बुद्धिस्तु हरीश्वरस्य यदीदृशी राघवधर्मपत्नी इमा यथा राक्षसराजभार्याः सुजातमस्येति हि साधुबुद्धेः पुनश्च सोचिन्तयदार्थरूपो ध्रुवं विशिष्टा गुणतो हि सीता अथायमस्यां कृतवान् महात्मा लङ्केश्वरः कष्टमनार्यकर्म इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकीये आदिकाव्ये सुन्दरकाण्डे अन्तःपुरदर्शनं नाम नवमः सर्गः सम्पूर्णः। सुन्दरकाण्ड सुन्दरकाण्डे अन्तःपुरदर्शनं नाम नवमः सर्गः सम्पूर्णः.
Very good, very good.
Thank you.
The Mahapranah split the Dvitva. It was perfect, Bhagni. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank
very
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Yamini Bhagni is asking YouTube Mata, what does the apostrophe about the Tamil im mean? So here, I think she's asking about this im and the apostrophe here. That means that it is a anuswara. So, which means the im comes on the top and not the im, like it comes at the end of the sentence. 1 second. Let me find. Now, all of these are im, which means that the im is the anuswara. Anuswara is the dot on the top and not the im, like the makara with the halat. I don't know. There. Can you see here? So when it is at the end of the sentence, you can see Bhushanangambaras Srajam. The im is here. That is also im. But then it is the ma with the halanta there. So that is given as just im. When the ma changes due to a sandhi rule, it becomes anuswara, which means when the following shabda, following pada has the starting akshara or the varna as the vyanjanam. Vyanjanam is like meyyezhuthu. Then it will become a anuswara. So this im indicates that it is not this ma with the line at the bottom. Instead, it is a dot at the top, which is anuswara. Both are pronounced im only, but I hope it's clear now, Bhagni. Any clarifications? Any of the fairly simple set, I felt. Any particular shloka that requires clarification with pronunciation? Yeah, both of them chanted very well today. Jayanti Padmi's chanting and Sheila Bhakti's repeat was beautiful. Okay, we'll go to the quick revision of the earlier set. Shanti ji, who's the nightingale of our group. She has such a sweet voice.
Ram ji, Periva Sharanam. I'll try. If there are any mistakes, please correct. Okay. In the previous slokas, Valmiki Rishi described the magnificent hall of Ravana and the ladies there. Here he continues in these slokas from 41 to 60. He describes wonderfully the bhogam of Ravana and his beautiful wives. By his many comparisons, gives us a glimpse of his poetic prowess. Even though Hanuman appreciates their beauty, he is not at all moved by their objects of sensual pleasure before him. It is a plenty there. The 41 first sloka describes like that noble and great Vanara, Hanuman, he thought the beautiful women by their qualities and fragrance were like lotuses that bloom in water. 42, that hall was shining and resplendent because it was adorned by these women, like the autumnal sky without clouds is illuminated by a group of shining stars. 43. Ravana, the lord of the Rakshasas, surrounded by these shining women, looked like Udupati, the moon, with the bright stars on all sides. 44. The Vanara thought that the stars and meteors with bright light have fallen from the sky into one place and has formed the group of these resplendent, shining women there. 45. The luster, complexion, and grace of the beautiful and auspicious women there were like great, shining, colorful stars. 46. Those women were intoxicated and tired after playing, as their minds were stolen by sleep, and they were actually in deep sleep. So their garlands and ornaments were scattered and going to different sides. 47. Their tilaks or kumkum was smudged. Some women's anklets were displaced. Their malas had slipped to their sides in their sleep. 48. Their pearl necklaces were broken. Their clothes had slipped away, and the string holding their hip ornaments had become loose. Even then, they looked so shining and beautiful, like young female horses, though tired, after a long day's play. 49. Some of these women wore beautiful earrings, which were crushed and broken, like beautiful blossoming creepers in a huge forest, trampled upon by a big elephant. 50. The big pearl necklaces were like the shining rays of the moon in the middle of their chest, and they looked like white and pure sleeping swans. The poet I think the poet very aptly compares these women and Ravana to stars and moon and other suitable objects, because all these things happen in the night. 51. Some other women wore precious Vaidurya necklaces like Kadamba birds, known for their grace and calmness. Some other women wore golden chains shining like Chakravaka birds, which symbolize love and longing, as they are said to be never separated from each other. 52. The women's backs and hips were shining like swans, ducks, and Chakravaka birds in a big, calm river with shining sand dunes. I think the poet describes these sensual women, and now in these shlokas he does not mention Hanuman thought like that, because we all know the Dhrida Chitta and Brahmacharya Vrata of Hanuman. It's simply my thought, Bhagini.
Right.
53. Some sleeping women with their golden lotus-like faces and with tinkling bells in their anklets like lotus buds, they resemble the banks of rivers, shining, beautiful, calm, and captivating the hearts. 54. The soft bodies of these women, with their bosoms and their tips, were beautifully decorated and looked like shining ornaments. 55. Their fine garments were moving in the wind of their gentle breaths over each other's faces again and again. 56. Their bright and shining clothes were fluttering in the wind like different colored and radiant flags, pataka, in the base of their faces. 57. The earrings of these auspicious women were moving slowly in their soft breaths as they were sleeping together very closely. 58. Their breaths, full of the smell of sweet liquor and by nature fragrant and comforting, were like serving Ravana. And this, I think, it shows their servitude, and they liked whatever was pleasant to Ravana. 59. Some of Ravana's wives mistook the faces of other women to that of Ravana in their intoxicated state, maybe, and they were smelling the faces of other women, suspecting Ravana's attention to them. So they were always craving for Ravana's
Attention.
favors. Yeah. 60. These good women were extremely devoted to Ravana and were very dependent. They were under the influence of liquor and sleep. They wanted only to please Ravana, sometimes even unwillingly. They did not want to be left out of his favor. By these beautiful descriptions, we can just visualize the grandeur and beauty of these ladies there. And one more thing that you said, that like birds of a feather flock together. And we are so, because all of us, we are all so influenced by our leader. And thus Sangam we are with in all aspects of our life. Thank you.
Very true.
Thank you, Guruji, because we have got so many good things in our life because of you and because of our Sangam with you. Thank you so much. Periva Sharan.
Guru Kripa. Very wonderfully summarized. I know it's the Sarga itself just talks about the Antapura Varnanam and Pravesham and what Hanuman is seeing there, but it's very, very obvious that a leader who has taken away another person's wife through force is not going to have something sattvic around him. Because if there was little bit of, fairness in his mind, a little bit of dharma that he could follow, then he wouldn't have taken Sita by force. So I think what Valmiki is actually describing here and what Hanuman is seeing is something which is expected. Somebody who's taken another person's duty-bound wife through force is not going to be a dharmic person. So the description here just follows, like Shanti ji said, the women that surround Ravana are either there by force, or sometimes some women get pride and pleasure by being associated with the leader. All said and done, Ravana is the leader of that country. And these women take pride in being one of the wives, one of the women to whom Ravana gives the permission to share the Antapura. So there were a bunch of Rakshasis who were seen outside. Now, these are the selected or the chosen few that Hanuman is seeing inside the Antapura. So that by itself, they would consider a privilege. And not thinking about whether they are associated with a dharmic person, whether he is doing something right, whether they should be taking pride by this association. They are blind to all that. That is what happens when you are ruled by a king who is not a dharmic person by himself. Very nicely summarized. The next few shlokas also continue to describe these women only. So we'll quickly go through them. 61 that we started today. Bahun upanidhaya anyaha pariharya vibhushitan amshukani cha ramyani pramadaha tatra shishire. So some of these women, what were they doing? They had these arms. Bahu is arms. These arms which were placed on each other. So they were all in completely intoxicated state, taken away by nidra, which is sleep. So they were oblivious to how they were even sleeping. So the putting the arms on each other, pariharya vibhushita. So they were decorated, but these ornaments are also were not very structured or very not neatly displayed. They were displaced from one place to the other. Amshukani, Amshukam is covering all the clothes that they were wearing. Ramyani, which were beautiful to look at. These pramadaha, these women who were carried away by pride, these pride women, tatra shishire, they were sleeping. So Hanuman was able to see the vulnerability of these women and how they were attracted by the leader and the luxury that was offered by the leader, the king. So these women were sleeping and their garments were displaced, their ornaments were displaced, they were literally having each other's body on each other, but still he could see the pride with which they were because of the association they had with Ravana. Anya vakshasi cha anyasyaha tasyaha kaschit punar bhujam apara tu ankam anyasyaha tasyaha cha api apara bhujam. So one woman's head was on another woman's chest, and that person's arm was embracing another woman. So it was like a chain reaction that was being seen there. So it was like a chain of women who were sleeping there. So anya vakshasi. So vaksham is basically chest. Anyasyaha tasya kaschit punarbhujam. So one person's chest had the head, that person's hand was on somebody else's. The other person's leg was on another woman. Apara is somebody else. And then ankam is lap. So they were sleeping on each other in not a very nice structured manner. Like if you walk into a very disciplined hostel, right, you would see these boys or girls would have like structured kind of sleeping beds, neatly arranged one after the other. But these women were lying all around, one on top of the other, one hand on the other, one head on other person's chest, and that person's head on another person's lap. So they were kind of like scattered all around. So when you look at this kind of scattered behavior, it is obviously not something that would convey dignity, right? In general, the stree who belongs to the royal or the noble clan will have a neat, disciplined, structured way of even sleeping. But that is not seen among these women who are there in the Anthapuram of Ravana. Uru Parshva Kati Prishtham Anya Anyasya Anyonyaha here. Anyonyasya Samashritaha Paraspara Nivishta Angyaha Mada Sneha Vasha Anugaha. So they were all kind of intertwined with one another. But then they looked as though they were very passionate when they actually lay there. So the limbs were Uru is the lower part of the body, the thigh. Parshva Kati. Kati is waist. So the thighs, the sides, the waist. Prishtha is the back part. Anyonyasya. Here Anyonya means they were all kind of together, one with the other. Paraspara Nivishta Angaha. So these limbs that they had were kind of intertwined with each other. But then Mother Sneha Vasha Anugaha. Mother is pride or intoxication. Sneha here refers to passion. So these women were resting in the Antapura of Ravana. They were lying intertwined, resting limbs on each other, the hands and the legs and the upper part of the body, their backs, all with lot of intoxication and passion. So there is a laws of self-awareness that can be concluded from this particular sarga itself, right? These women were so intoxicated both by external consumption and by the pride that they had, also the false kind of passion that they felt being there in Ravana's Antapura. They were all completely carried away. Anyonyasya anga samsparshat. Sparshanam is contact, touching. Priyamanaha sumadhyamaha. Ekikrita bhujaha. Ekikrita means all into one. Sarvaha sushupuhu tatra yoshitaha. So they had, these women had their arms. Bhuja is arms. Ekikrita, kind of like entangled with one another, and they were sleeping with one other's touch. They were all branded as wives of Ravana, and they were all together sleeping next to each other, not being aware of the surroundings at all. So even though it appeared as though they were all at peace, there is an internal disturbance I'm sure they are experiencing because of the intoxication. So priyamanaha, those who were extremely delighted to be there. Sumadhyamaha means these women who have the madhyama bhaga of their body, the waist, which is very nice and slender to look at. So they were all nicely structured, beautiful looking women. So they were anyonyasya, on one another. Anga samsparshat. Anga is body part, limbs. Sparshanam means touching each other, one touching the other, the next person touching another one, and then another person touching all three. So it's kind of like a scattered kind of sleeping that was being seen there. But these women were beautiful. Sumadhyamaha, slender waisted women. Sushupuhu, what they were doing? They were sleeping. Where? Tatra, in Ravana's Antapura, Yoshitaha. Yoshitaha means these women were sleeping. Anyonya Bhuja Sutrena Stri Mala Grathitahi Sa. Mala iva Grathita Sutre Shushubhe Matta Shatpadaha. So it looked like a garland of women who were strung together with each other's arm. So it looked like a little flower garland. And Shatpada. What is Shatpada? We have seen this word before. Does anybody remember what is Shatpada? Shatpada is B. Shat is 6. Pada here means the legs, one with 6 legs. So it's kind of like intoxication, right? When bees are attracted by flowers, they go round and round and round. And when they actually draw that nectar, I'm sure the bees feel kind of intoxicated, right? That metaphorical comparison here. So it looked like a garland of women. Sutram means a string. Sutram means a string. Shushubhe means that which was beautifully shining. Mala iva, like a garland. They were all kind of strung together and looked like a long flower garland which was being buzzed by intoxicated bees. Latanam madhave masi phullanam vayu sevanat anyonyam Anyonya mala grathitam samsakta kusuma uchayam. What is Madhava Masam? Does anybody know? Masi is in the month of Madhava. In fact, the 12 namas of Narayana refer to each of the months. I think Keshava is Marga Shirsha Masa. Similarly, Madhava refers to the spring season. So during the spring season, Phullanam, we have seen this in many shlokas, that those flowers which are beautifully blossomed, bloomed, and during spring season, there is nice breeze flowing as well. Vayu Sevanat, that which is stirred by the wind. Anyonyam, they are again together. Mala gratitam. Anyonya mala gratitam. So intertwined with each other, hand in hand with each other. Samsakta means together. Kusuma. What is kusuma? Is flower. Very good. So kusuma is flower. Kusuma uchayam means cluster of flowers. Samsakta, cluster of flowers. Kusuma uchayam, they are flowers that are sticking together. So when we look at lata is creeper. So when there is a huge spread of creeper, when we look at the creeper with fully bloomed flowers in the month of spring, it'll look very intertwined. It'll be full of flowers. So nice intertwining. The flowers that are there strung to each other by themselves will look like a garland because it'll be full of flowers. So if there is a particular pattern, we can actually feel like as they move, there is a garland which is actually moving. So what Hanuman is witnessing there, Valmiki is just describing that with something with respect to nature, which is what always appeals to us, right? Where even when we look at something artificial, we try to compare that to something of natural beauty, because natural beauty ultimately is what appeals to our mind. So the creepers in the spring season, which have fully blossomed flower, which are slowly stirred and moved by the wind. The intertwined flowers, which look like a well-strung garland, the garland that has beautiful flowers, which are, or a cluster of flowers, which are stuck to each other or strung to each other. Vyati veshtita su skandam anyonya brahmara akulam asit vanam iva Uddhutam Strivanam Ravanasya Tat. So looking at so many women there in Antapura, right? Typically, I think in olden days, you can say polygamy was so prevalent that finding just one queen in the Antapura would have been an exception. So most likely, most of these kings would have had multiple wives, but looking at so many women there in the Antapura of Ravana, here Hanuman is describing Vanam Iva. It looked like forest of women, which was spread wide across. So he says Vanam. So just like in a forest, creepers would be there, flowers would be there, the fragrance would be there. Similarly, here, these women were all around everywhere, intertwined one on the other, hands all strung together, which looked like a garland. So Vyativeshtita Suskandam. So the stems of these flowers which are strung with each other. Anyonya Brahmara Akulam. Obviously, when there are beautiful flowers, fragrant flowers, you would see bees there. So you could see it looked as though it was flocked by or crowded with bees. Vanam iva, like a forest, uddhutam, it presented itself like what? Stri vanam, the forest of women. Ravanasya that bhavanam of Ravana was looking like that. Imagine the number, right? Hanuman would have seen there. Uchiteshu api suvyaktam na tasam yoshitam tada vivekah shakyah adhatum bhushana anga ambara srajam. Amba srajam. Ambara srajam, correct. Uchiteshu api. Uchitam means something which is very proper, structured, well defined, and something which is in order. So vyaktam means that which is very clear to see. Na tasam, but these women, yoshitam, these women, tada, vivekah, the capability of distinguishing. Shakyaha, is it possible? Adhatum, to make ornaments, bodies, bhushana, anga, ambara, srajam. So even when you looked at places, it was impossible to distinguish which garment, which limb, which cloth, which garland belonged to which woman there. It was lying all around that one could not decipher, okay, this actually belongs to this woman, this abharanam belongs to this woman there, this particular limb belongs to this woman. Typically, we will be able to distinguish and we will be able to say, but here they were all over and all around that these yoshitam tasam yoshitam tada. It was impossible to distinguish amongst these women the ornaments, their anga, their vastram, their mala, which belong to whom. Ravane Sukha Sambishte Taha Striyaha Vividha Prabhaha Jwalantaha Kanchanaha Deepaha Praikshanta Nimisha Iva. Nimisha here means without blinking. Now, these splendid women were surrounding Taha Striyaha Vividha Prabha, different kinds of shine that they were exhibiting. These women were all around whom? All around Ravana. Now, what was Ravana doing? Ravana Sukha Samvishte. He was happily lying down there. And how did these women shine? Jwalantaha Kanchanaha, like golden lamps that don't even blink, that don't even go off for a second, right? The shine continuously throws out. A praikshanta means that which can be seen. Animisha iva, even without blinking, without even a pause, these women were shining there, probably due to the grandness, the grandeur of the ornaments that they were wearing. So Ravana Sukha Samvishte, as he was lying comfortably, Taha Striyaha, these women, Vividha Prabhaha, who had different kind of shine. Jwalantaha Kanchana Deepaha, they were like exhibiting the shine like that of golden lamps. Praikshanta Nimisha Iva, and they the shining that they were exhibiting, was continuous, and it looked like they were always in the sight of Ravana. So the way they were lying down, their eyes were at any point when they open, it would look at Ravana. So unblinkingly, they would want to look at Ravana. Even in the previous set, we saw a verse where they were constantly watching for Ravana's reaction. So unblinkingly, they were continuously watching. Raja Rishi Pitru Daityanam Gandharvanam Cha Yoshitaha Rakshasam Cha Abhavan Kanyaha Tasya Kama Vasham Gataha. So who fell for Ravana? Rajarshi Pitru Daityanam. So Raja Rishi. Pitru means the ancestor. Daitya means the demons. Gandharva. So these women who were there belong to the clan of kings, belong to the clan of people who have had a long ancestral dynasty. Gandharva. There were also they also belong to the Rakshasa Kula. Kanyaha. All these Kanyas were Kama Vashangata. They fell for Ravana. They did not have control, and Ravana did not have control of his lust. So he brought all these women into his control. Kama Vashangata means becoming a slave to Kama. Gataha means they went. So all these women, Kanyaha, who belong to, they could probably be the daughters of kings, daughters of demons, the Gandharvas, the Rakshasas, they all fell for Ravana. And why did they fall? Because they fell for the lustful power that Ravana had. Yuddha Kamena Taha Sarvaha Ravanena Kritaha Striyaha. Taken. They were all forcefully abducted, very obviously. Samada Madanena Eva Mohitaha Kashchit Agataha. So some of them were seized by Ravana forcefully. Some of them fell for Ravana due to Kama, the lust. Some of them were blinded by the passion that they had, the mother and that they had, Mohitaha. Some of them, Mohitaha means they wantedly came to be one of the wives of Ravana. So maybe due to in a yuddha, maybe after defeating Yuddha Kamena, because Ravana is capable of waging war, some women are attracted by that power. So having that lust or the desire for power and falling for the king who is so powerful that he can wage war anywhere and he can win. So Taha Sarvaha. These women, some of them Ravanena Hritaha. Hritaha means forcefully taken away. Striyaha. Samada. Some of them had this pride and the passion. Madanena Eva. But some of them, Mohitaha, wantedly, they had the willingness to come to Ravana by themselves without any external force. Na tatra kaschit pramadaha prasahya virya upapannena labdhaha na cha anya kama api na cha anya purva vina vara arham janakatmajam tu. But looking at all the women there, it was very clear. No one could even come close to Sita. They were all there due to Pramadaha. They were delighted to be there. They were They were there due to Ravana winning over them and forcibly bringing them. Some of them had come willingly to be as part of Ravana's kingdom, as part of Ravana's crew of wives, right? Stri Vanam. But none of them were pure. Vara Arham means that the purity, the best quality a noble woman can actually exhibit. Who was that? Janakatmajam tu. Janakas, the one who is the daughter of Janaka, Janaki. So no one was as worthy as Sita. There, not even one woman there, even though she was brought forcefully, even though she was there, one maybe due to the Viryam that Ravana had, some of them could have been attracted by some good qualities, Gunena Labdaha, some virtue, right, that Ravana had, and they were attracted towards that. Some of them could have been there just for the desire of being there. But none of the women who were present there are comparable in terms of purity with respect to Janakatmaja, Sita, who is the sole goal for Hanuman's Anveshanam. So he is here simply to find Sita, and he knows that none of them present there come even any close to the purity, the noble virtues that Sita Devi would have. Nurture Akulina, nurture Hina Rupa, na Adakshina, na Anupachara Yukta, all are negative qualities. Bharya Abhavat Tasya, na Hina Sattva, na cha api Kantasya, na Kamaniya. So, even though they were all there, Akulina means the low born. Hina Rupa means na Hina Rupa, not ugly. Na Adakshina, somebody who lacks grace. Adakshina is somebody who lacks grace. When we look at a woman, the grace she carries is so attractive. Na Anupachara Yukta. Upacharam. What is Upacharam? When a woman looks at somebody, right? The kind of kindness, compassion, and upacharam that she does, be it, a guest who comes, be it the members of the family, be it somebody who is of higher status, be it somebody who is visiting of lower status, how the upacharam is being done. Bharya Abhavat Tasya, his wife, were not. Hina Sattva, Sattvam is strong, means the low-minded. Kantasya here refers to Ravana, the Kamaniya. So, in terms of how these women were, they all looked quite beautiful, quite charming to look at. Just because Ravana did not follow Dharma, his mind was ugly. These women who surrounded Ravana were not ugly. They did not belong to a low-born family. They were not Hina Rupa, ugly to look at. Na Adakshina, they did not lack grace. Na Anupachara Yukta, they did not lack the basic courtesy, basic qualities of a woman. Bharya Abhavat Tasya. So his wife were not, again, na Hina Sattva. They were not low-minded or weak-minded in terms of being there. And then Kantasya Kamaniya. They were all extremely happy to be there with Ravana. So the association by itself, I think Shanti ji, as she said, birds of same feather flock together. Automatically, when you have a certain kind of thinking, the kind of people whom you will attract is also would be very, very similar. The one change that you make in terms of a positivity, right? I have experienced that in my life as well, where you make a small change, you put certain things aside and you focus your mind on something which is sattvic, something which is more peaceful, something, even looking at people's qualities. When we constantly keep looking at people's weaknesses, we will keep attracting those weaknesses to us. When we constantly look at the strengths of the people, we will keep attracting people who have those strengths. So, which is why they keep saying, keep manifesting good thoughts inside you, because that is what you will attract. So, given that Ravana is so, if I may use the word, dirty minded, not the women who were surrounding Ravana were not ugly. They were not, physically weak. They were not somebody who lacked grace. They were all extremely beautiful and they were delighted to be with Ravana. So, Ravana had everything. He had the looks, external looks, the majestic look that he carried. He had power as a king. By just the description of the city that we have seen so far, the richness of the city, the grandeur of the city, the planning and the construction, and the kind of richness and prosperity that one could see. Obviously, any ordinary woman would feel attracted. So, so even though Ravana had all this, obviously he wasn't happy. He still needed somebody else who did not want to be with him, right? That is what they call, the mind which is always looking for something one after the other. The contentment should happen at a point where we should settle when something dharmic is achieved. The contentment is not with respect to effort. So when we are working on something, they keep saying a person who is walking is jealous looking at a person who goes by cycle. A person who goes by cycle, wonders, wish I had a scooter, a car, a luxury car, and so on. The the key thought behind that is doing the prayatna. It is okay to desire. It is okay to do the prayatna to go forward. But at no point we should resort to something which is not dharmic to get something just because we desire, just because we want it, just because we wish for it. As long as these desires are there and there are efforts which are made to get those desires fulfilled, we are good enough. Now, Ravana also had a desire, but the desire by itself was not dharmic. Wanting another person's wife by definition is not dharmic. So even at the basic, the first step level of setting the goal, there was failure. But these women who were there with Ravana, it was very clear that they were attracted towards the power, the kind of wealth Ravana had, and hence they had this pride that they carried of being associated with him. Babhuva buddhihi tu harishwarasya yadi drishi raghava dharma patni ima yatha rakshasa rajabaryaha sujatam asya iti he sadhu buddhehe. Ravana was there with so many women there. And Hanuman was very clear in his mind. There is no way Janakatmaja would be there here. And he was thinking, if Sita, Harishwaraha here refers to Hanuman. Yadidrishi Raghava Dharmapatni, the Dharmapatni of Raghava, Sita, suppose he is here amongst the Rakshasa Rajabharya, it would definitely be a shame on her noble birth. So, Sujatam Asye iti. She is born in a noble family. There is no way she would be here amongst the Rakshasa Rajabharyaha. Bharya is wife, and there is a plural which is used here. Bharyaha means many wives. Rakshasa Ragnyaha Bharyaha. So all the wives of the demon king. But he knew that Sita, there is no way Sita's virtues would even permit her stepping into a place like this and being with Ravana. So having said that, we'll see what happens in the next Sarga. So, Babhuva Buddhihi tu. So as these thoughts arose, for whom Harishwarasya, for Hanuman, Yadi Drishi, if Sita were here, who Raghava Dharmapatni, Raghava's Dharmapatni, in case she is seen here, Ima Rataha, like these who Rakshasa Rajabharyaha, the wives of the demon king, Sujatam Asya iti, Sujatam. Jata means born. Sujatam means born in an extremely noble family. Sadhu Buddhe. And his virtuous mind was thinking about the virtues of Sita. So Hanuman is able to, being a Vanara, he is able to distinguish the right from wrong, and he is able to exhibit that unwavering thought towards the Pativratam of Sita, right? That she would never be here. Punaha cha saha achintayat. Saha here refers to Hanuman. Achintayat. He was thinking. Artha Rupaha, in a very troubled manner. Dhruvam, definitely. Vishishta Gunataha hi Sita. In terms of virtue, Sita is Vishishta, means superior. Atha ayam asyam kritava mahatma Lankeshwaraha kashtam anarya karma. So troubled in his mind, Hanuman was thinking again, Sita is definitely Vishishta, superior Gunataha in terms of all the virtues. And see what this Ravana has done. Atha ayam asyam Kritavan Mahatma Lankeshwaraha. This Lankeshwara, the king of Lanka, has done this terrible kashtam anarya karma. Karma means act. Anarya means something which cannot be accepted, something which is unworthy. Having seized her forcibly, Hanuman was Dhruvam, was definitely, he knew that Sita being the loftiest in terms of virtues that she carried, this Ravana, Mahatma Lankeshwaraha, has done a terrible act of Apaharanam. He has forcibly brought Sita to Lanka. So he enters the Antapura trying to look for Sita. He has been going from place to place, from building to building, mansion to mansion, Pushpaka Vimana, trying to look for Sita from one place to the other. He is not. So finally, he is entering Antapura and trying to see if Sita is being held there. Sita might not be there willingly, but Sita could be held there. But he is not seeing Sita. He is but seeing a crew of women, Stri Vanam there, who all are beautiful to look at, very well dressed, beautiful garments and rich garments, but they all are intoxicated by Ravana's power, Ravana's luxury, their passion, their lust and desire, and Ravana's lust and desire as well. So he is seeing all these women who are there in a very disturbed fashion, who have some kind of attraction towards Ravana, which has been confirmed in 2-3 verses, that they're constantly looking for Ravana's affection, and they want Ravana in their line of sight, to see what he is doing, and they being in Ravana's line of sight as well. But Ravana, being amongst these women, he is happily lying there, and at some level Hanuman is happy that a noble woman like Sita, who belongs to such a royal family, who has this greatest virtues, definitely is not seen here. I think that ends the 9th Sarga, which is Antapura Darshanam, and then we will do the revision next week and continue with the 10th Sarga, maybe the week after, because there are 75 shlokas, just revising them fully and then going through the full meaning by itself would take time. So we'll do the revision, and then the following week we will do the 10th Sarga, where Hanuman continues the Anveshanam, and then I'm curious to know whom he sees and what he understands. I have uploaded the individual shlokas and the verses set of 10. I will upload the full Sarga for practice as well. So next week, I'm hoping that, few new members would volunteer to chant and to summarize the Sarga as well. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tatsat. Dhanyavadaha. Shubhadinam. Ram Ram Ram. Sarvam Krishnarpanam Astu. Jai Jai Shankara Hara Hara Shankara. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hanuman, Ram Ram Ram. Keep chanting, keep practicing.